Welcome. I'm going to show you how to create a new risk assess so that you get all of the materials and equipment and reagents that you need for your chemistry lab. Here you go with the student version of risk assess. You should already have the link. You're going to start a blank risk assessment. You're going to put in your name here. This is your first name and your last name. Don't worry about the PIN. The experiment name. This is a reaction rate lab, and what I suggest you do is put in the factor that you're looking at. Concentration, for example. Here, you can copy and paste a procedure from the document that you've been using to organize it, or you can simply type in a link to that document, whatever you want. Your teacher, that's me. Your group, you are year 10. For these codes, if you want to understand what they are, you can go ahead and open this link, but you don't really need to do that. Just select 2, right? Room, for us, that's B105. We're looking at period 2 on, you select the calendar date. Our first lesson is going to be Tuesday, April 9th. Then we're going to come back here. It's also period 2 again for the next day that we're doing, which is Wednesday, April 10th. And then the final day is going to be period 4 on Friday, April 12th. So you select all of that. That way you've got all 3 lessons that are there. Scheduling notes. Please bring materials and reagents before class starts on Tuesday, April 9th. Tuesday, April 9th. Remove materials after the end of the lesson on Friday, April 12th. Okay? Simple scheduling instructions. Think about what it is that you need. This should come from the materials list that you've developed in the planning document I've given you. So I know I want 5 test tubes. I know I want 1 test tube rack. I know that I want 1 graduated cylinder. I know that I want 5 beakers. And I need 1 digital balance. That's an electronic balance to determine the mass of any solutes that I'm going to add to create my solutions. Then I'm going to come down to equipment. Well, what did I list here? Okay, well here I need a test tube. So I type in test tube. I tell it to search and add, and it's going to give me a selection here on the right side. I select one of those. Here's large, these are medium, and these are small. I'm just going to select the medium size. Again, I'm going to put in test tube to search and add, and what I want is a test tube rack. If you're doing something that involves a lot of heat, consider not using the plastic ones, ask for a wooden one. If it doesn't matter, just select test tube rack. Here I've got the graduated cylinder, measuring cylinder glass, 1 liter or more, 100 to 500 milliliters. What you want is the small one, 50 mils or less. I know that I want beakers, so I'm going to search and add that. Here I'm going to get a glass beaker, and again, 2 liters or more, way too big. 250 milliliters to 1 liter, fine. 200 mils are probably sufficient for what we need here. The balance, we've only got enough to have them spread around the classroom, so you're not going to get those individually. You can leave that off the list. Now, your chemicals used. What are the reagents that you're after? Well, maybe what you want is hydrochloric acid. So you type in hydrochloric, you're going to tell it to search and add for that. Here you've got hydrochloric acid. You'll notice it has a lot of different concentrations here. Because we talked about in lab safety using the most dilute ones, this one is less than 3 molar, so that's what you're going to select. You can then prepare the exact molarities that you need for your investigation afterwards. What else do you need? Let's say it's a magnesium ribbon. So I type in magnesium, I search for that. I have a lot of different options here. This first one, you'll see that it's got kind of this menu item. I click on that. Do I want a block, turnings, ribbon, or powder? I want the ribbon. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I'm not too worried about the chemicals produced. It might be magnesium oxide. You should know that by having done the research for your industrial application of chemistry. There's no biologicals or food, so you can just leave that blank. Anything else that you need, you put here. Right. Then you're going to click Generate Risk Assessment, and what you'll get is a document that looks like this. It shows you the equipment, potential hazards. These are things you can put into your risk assessment when you're writing your lab report. It generates all of that safety data information for you. It's right here. Then you're going to assess by students. Is this a low, medium, high, or extreme risk experiment? Hopefully it's just low. And then you're going to you can sign it electronically by putting your student name here. So the student name, you click sign, and it's done. Then our lab technician will also do the same thing. They're going to sign it electronically. That's the lab tech. Now the lab tech has signed it, and voila, you have this whole document, right? Then you can email it, and just email it to me. Once it says that it's been done, that way I have your entire procedure, and we can hand that to the lab technician so that all of your materials are ready to go when class starts on Tuesday.